Hello everybody, welcome to the Bluegrass Spinner podcast. My name is Christy, also known as Crow Knit Girl on YouTube and Ravelry. But then also I had a recent change for Instagram. I'm no longer Crow Knit Girl. I'm now Pecora Yarns. And I thought, it would be a good idea to change my Instagram name at least to my business name, just because I'm going to be posting a lot of business related things through Instagram, like shop updates and new colorways and all that kind of stuff. You might notice a little bit different of a background now. In this long time since my last podcast, I have switched rooms with my daughter. I gave her the larger room, which was my previous craft room where I was recording before, and I took her room, which is much smaller. So basically now the only place for me to record here is on the floor. I'm basically sitting right in the middle of the room. It's a very, very small room. And the wall, I can touch it without any problem, and I'm sitting smack dab in the middle. So, but hey, at least you all get to see a nice pretty wheel. I love my Kromsky wheel. That's a Kromsky Symphony wheel, which is wonderful. I love it. So, it has been quite some time since I last, oh my goodness, since I last podcasted. I have actually recorded several times, but I never posted them, just because when I went back to edit them and go through them, I was just like, it's not good. There was, a lot of pauses, a lot of ums, a lot of disruptions, and just a lot going on throughout them. So I just scratched them, and this is probably about the 5th time that I've tried recording. So hopefully this time it works. But yeah, I have had a lot going on. One of the reasons I have not podcasted recently is because of my health. This summer has just really been hard on me. With the heat and the humidity, it's just been a lot. And because our air conditioner is on the fritz in the house, it's difficult for me even inside the home. So, because it is way too hot half the time. In fact, it's gotten so bad sometimes I've had to go to stay at my parents' house because it's just, I can't do it. I don't do well with the heat because of my condition. It's actually one of the triggers for it. So that's why, long story short, that's why I have not podcasted for 2 months, I think. I have had a lot go on. We did have the Christmas knit along in July go on, and I don't know if it was because I didn't get a podcast out right before it started or during it, but we didn't have very good entry numbers. In fact, we only had one person enter. So I was a little bit disappointed with that, to be honest, but hopefully our next knit along goes better. I'm hoping to have another one in October. I have an idea in mind, and see, this is what happens. My mind just starts to go, and I can't concentrate. But I do have a couple things in mind for a knit along in October, and hopefully that one goes a little bit better. We'll see. But and the person who entered and obviously won, because she was the only one, I've already contacted her, and I'm going to be getting her product out to her today. Also, uh, since I last talked to you, I went to the SSK market, which was, oh my gosh, so much fun. I loved it. I got to meet some lovely people, and how can you not like talking to other people who enjoy the same thing as you do, as in spinning, knitting, crafting, all of that. Um, I just went for the market because I did not win the lottery by getting in to SSK. I am going to try this here again and keeping my fingers crossed I get in this year. Please. Um, but my aunt actually did get in to SSK. So when I went down to market, I met up with her. And I actually, when I got there, I had totally messed up on my time, because the market was from 1 to 4 for the public. Before that, the SSKers, they had a market. Well, I forgot that Nashville, where SSK is held every year, is 1 hour behind where I am. So I left the house judging on my time clock, not Nashville's time clock of when I would need to be there. So needless to say, I got there an hour early. In fact, a little bit more than an hour early, because I always usually like to try, for things like that, I like to try and give myself about half an hour leeway time, just in case I get lost, have trouble parking, the traffic, whatever. So I got there about an hour and a half early. It was okay, because my aunt was there. I had somebody to talk to, and also I talked to some other lovely people, um, and before it started, I went into the lobby area and sat down and knit and gossiped with my, aunt and everything. But I could not go into the market. She could, but I could not go into the market as of yet. And also, it gave me a wonderful opportunity to meet and talk to for a few moments the Knit Girls, the two wonderful ladies who host SSK every year, Leslie and Laura, which they are wonderful people. Oh my gosh, so lovely. And I was a little bit fangirling, but so nice, so nice. And it was really nice. I'm actually now happy that I got there a little bit early, because it did give me a chance to talk to them and, kind of get a little bit of a taste of what SSK is about by just sitting and chit-chatting and knitting and, So I'm actually kind of happy that it worked out that way, that I messed up the time, uh, and I was able to enjoy myself quite a bit. So, I did get some stuff at SSK, but I will show you that shortly. I have a few things that are in progress. Sorry, I'm looking around as I'm like, yeah, I have this. I do have a few things that I've been heavily working on. The first thing, sorry, I'm trying to find where I put it, is a pair of socks. And this is a bit of an FO as well, or not an FO, a stash enhancement, because it's new yarn that I purchased since I last podcasted, and it is the Knit Picks Felici in the Gummy Bear colorway. I really like the colors on this. And I am knitting just a plain vanilla sock with a fish lips kiss heel. I really like that heel. Um, it's simple, it fits well on my foot, and I don't get holes right at the corners, but here it is. I did mess up the striping a little bit, but I don't care. The socks are just for me. Right here where the heel is, I didn't change yarns or anything like that. I just kept on going as I did. So I just didn't want a whole bunch of ends to weave in. So this is the first one. I'm actually right at the toe. I just need to knit the toe and then I can start my second one. Hopefully I will get that done shortly, because I definitely don't want these to turn into my Christmas shop socks where they take forever to finish. But I have been working on those slowly, and I'm enjoying them. I really like that yarn. I now know why everybody is always raving about it. It's a really nice yarn. It's a very soft yarn, because it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and it is really soft. And the colors I really like. There's just one thing that I don't like about it, which is that the color, it's not even bleeding, but you can see, hopefully, like in that blue, you see the pink? That's just totally random. It's not part of the color. And it like here it happens in the yellow. And that seems to be the only areas that really happens is in that light blue and the yellow. That's the only drawback to it, is that I've noticed that it just has those few spots. So I'm not real big on that, but, you know, can't complain too much. And they are just for me. So it doesn't really matter. It's just going on my feet. Not a big deal. Next thing that I have been working on is Susan Anderson came out with a pattern just recently. In fact, it was the week of SSK that she came out with this, like one day before it was supposed to start. Is the Perfect Retreat shawl. It is a paid pattern, so I'm not going to give away too much, but it's a nice pattern. It's kind of like a triangular pattern, and it starts off with a garter and then it works into a lace. And I'm actually almost done with the garter area. I can't really stretch this out too well because it's on way too small of needles, but it's just garter. Nothing super interesting yet. And then it works into some lace and then you bind off and you're done. That's all that I can really tell you about it. I will show you a picture of what it's supposed to look like when it's completed. I'll pull that up real quick. It is, hold on. It's a really pretty pattern, and I am knitting it on, oh my goodness, there it is. It is Malabrigo sock yarn, which is, oh my goodness, 100% superwash merino. Why they call it sock yarn, I don't know, because without nylon it's not going to hold up very well, but oh well, sorry. So the colorway is 853 Abril. It's just a really pretty purple with just some hints of pops of blue. I'll show you this. Here's a good picture of it. Hopefully it comes out. There it is. See, it's just really pretty. It has garter, and then it goes into a lace. And she wrote it up for you to be able to use 1 or 2 skeins of sock yarn. And I'm choosing to use the 2 because I have 2 skeins of this, and I wanted a little bit of a larger shawl. But I definitely recommend the pattern. Of course, like all of Susan B. Anderson's patterns, they are written extremely well. They're wonderful patterns. They're well tested. They're wonderful. So again, if you want to knit that, it's the perfect retreat shawl, and it's a very easy, mindless, fun knit. But yeah, that's all that I'm going to tell you about that, because I don't want to give away too much about the pattern. Then, I have been working on one other project. You guys have seen this before, but I've been making some more progress on it, which is my vacation pie shawl. I will hold this up the best of my ability, but as you can see, it is growing. And that's actually really good. I have started on the lace. I have 5 repeats of the lace completed. I have to do 19, and then I start on the border. So I've been doing really good progress. What I've been trying to do is I have a goal of when I can try to finish this, is I'm trying to knit 1 lace repeat, which is 4 rows, in 1 day. And so far I've been doing pretty good. Like when I sit down and work on it, I want to finish that whole 1 lace repeat. And I've been doing pretty good with that, and it's kind of helping it go a little bit faster. Kind of making me want to work on it some more, because it's helping me see the light at the end of the tunnel. I am knitting it on oh my goodness, I don't want to mess this up. Hold on. Because I have lost my tag. I have no idea where it is any longer. So I can't pull that up to show you. But thank goodness for Ravelry, I can pull it up on there. I am knitting it on All for Love of Yarn, Sumptuously Lace, in the warm yellow colorway. And it is 1,300 yards of alpaca, silk, and cashmere. And it is every bit of that loveliness. It's very, and I like that it's very light and airy. I'm thinking that this will be a wonderful summer shawl, just to kind of throw over my shoulders, because it's very sheer, very light, and this is a very nice pattern. I'm going to get this up off of the floor before I mess it up. It is a very nice pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry, and it's kind of a good introduction to working with lace yarn and working with lace itself, lace knitting, and also constructing a pie shawl. It's a really good introduction to it. Sorry. So that's all that I've been really working on recently. I'm really hoping to get these projects finished in a nice, timely manner, because I have another project I want to cast on, and my aunt and I are hoping to cast it on together and kind of doing little mini knit along with each other. But I told her we can't start until I finish one of these projects. So, because I'm trying to do that. I'm trying to get one project off before I start another. I'm trying to be good. And it's kind of helping. One, it's helping me get going on my projects and, actually completing them. And it's helping me keep my numbers down. I still do have other works in progress around that I have not touched for some time, that I just kind of slowly do like a stitch or two, and then I'm like, okay, I'm putting you away. I probably should go through and be like, okay, when am I actually going to complete, and what do I need to just give up on and just say, forget it. I'm sorry. Okay. I'm just getting over a cold, so um, I do have FOs. In fact, I have several FOs. Some of them you've never even seen before. Unless you've followed me on Instagram, then you would have seen them. First one I want to show you is, I'm very happy with myself. I finished my Christmas socks, and they fit wonderfully. I did the standard afterthought heel. I was going to do the revised one, but for some reason my head just wasn't wrapping around it. So I just did the normal one. They fit really well. They feel wonderful on my feet, and I absolutely love them. The yarn is by Fiber Nymph Dye Works. Y'all know I love her products. It is on her bedazzled base, which is a superwash merino, nylon, and stellina. And it is in the bright and merry, or merry and bright colorway. Very sorry. It's one of her Christmas colorways. Shows you how long it took me to complete them. I finished these actually probably about a month ago, or a little bit more than a month ago. So, that's my first FO. Then, I have a second FO. I completed my husband's socks. I did the fish lips kiss heel on them, and he likes them. He hasn't really worn them. He just tried them on to make sure that they fit before I bound off. And they fit well. The yarn is Cascade Yarns, Heritage Prints. And the colorway is number 13. Real creative, I guess. But I did like it. It was just a nice, easy knit, plain vanilla sock. Nothing special about it. So yeah, that's FO number 2. Then, this one I'm not so happy about. I'm finished, but I still look at it and I'm like, I completed my second hat for my daughter, and it still doesn't fit. Oh, yeah. I'm not knitting this pattern again. It was a well-written pattern and all that, but I just do not like cables, and after knitting it a second time in a larger size, and still to have the same result come back of not fitting on a 3-year-old's head, I'm not knitting it again. The yarn is Fiber Nymph Dye Works on her Mega Base, which is bulky. It's 100% superwash merino. It's very squishy, very soft, very lovely. I love it. And it is, oh my goodness. See, this is what happens. My brain just stops working. It is Yard Flamingo Pink colorway, I believe. And it's a very bright, happy bubblegum type pink. Um, just disappointed that I'm not going to be able to use it on my daughter. So now I have two hats knit of the exact same thing that just don't fit. And I have no idea who or what I'm going to do with them. So that's FO number 3. These next two FOs you have not seen yet. This one is just a quick little pattern that I just did up. It is out of my own hand-dyed fiber, hand-spun fiber. And it's just a nice chunky cowl. I really like it. It fits well. It sits well on me, and it's going to be very nice and warm and squishy during the winter. I really, really like it, and it's so warm. I put it on one day just to see how it fit, and oh my gosh, I only had it on for about a minute or so, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm burning up. So this will be a great thing for this winter, especially if we have as cold of a winter as we did last year. Then another project that is finished, very sorry, is a shawl that I just love. It is Leaves on the Line by Susan Ashcroft. Lovely pattern. It is a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give too much. But as you can see, it's a crescent shape. It starts off with garter and then ends with lace. That's about all that I'm going to say about it. And I really enjoyed this knit. It was, and I love wearing this shawl. I just love it. It was such an easy, fun knit. I literally cast this on and knit it within 1 week. And I am tempted to knit another one just because it was so enjoyable. The yarn that I did was, I'm going to show you this tag because I still have no idea how to pronounce it. I want to say Fido Designs, but you can see. And it is on her Bior base in the pumpkin spice colorway. Ignore those numbers written at the bottom. That was my notes, my own notes, for another pattern. And the tag, which just happened to be handy, I was like, oh my gosh, I had to write down these numbers. I'll write them on there, because that's paper that's right in front of me. But I've actually already worn this a few times. It's warm, but at the same time, because I did knit it a little bit more open, and then I aggressively blocked it, it's not too warm. So I've actually worn it to church a few times because my church likes to keep the air conditioning on full blast, and I freeze. So it's already gotten some lovely wear, and I do enjoy it very much. So that's my knitting FOs. Now I have spinning FOs, because we had Tour de Fleece through the month of July. I did participate. I did meet my goals. I still have one yarn that I have to apply from the singles I spun up during Tour de Fleece. I just haven't gotten to it yet. But The first one I will show you is the fiber was from Into the World in the Il Tramonto colorway. It's on Polworth and silk. I did a simple two-ply. The colors are far more dark than they are showing up here. But it's a beautiful copper, purple, blue, and gray. It's just beautiful. And again, I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet. I just try to get through as much of my fiber as I could. And once again, not being prepared, I don't know the yardage because I have not tagged it yet. It is 405 yards, so not a bad yardage. I'm pretty pleased with it. And then I will have to just show you the picture of this because I finished it and ended up selling it almost immediately. Is that one. And this one was a Nest, or not Nest, Three Waters Farm fiber. And it was coppers, purples, and blues. So they were very similar to each other. And it was also Polworth and silk. I actually almost was tempted to spin both of these as singles and then ply them together. They were that close in color. The colorway of that one was Late Winter Sunset. But like I said, I don't have it to show because it has a new home. And then I also have one by Nest Fiber. And the colorway is Agaricus. And this one was 100% BFL. And it is some beautiful blues and coppers. This one turned out really pretty. I'm really happy with it. And this actually got me to my 5K goal for Stash Dash with the Knit Girls. And it is 438 yards. So, that is some exciting news as well. I met my 5K goal. Woohoo! Last year I was really upset because I got just short of it. I think by 1,000 yards or something like that, which, I mean, if you think about it, it's a lot, but at the same time, it's not. It's really not. I mean, it's less than 1K. So, I did do well with that. Also, I completed my 2-ply lace. The fiber was by Lisa Souza. It's a 50% merino, 50% silk. And the colorway was Augustine. I got 910 yards out of this 2-ply. And I love this. It is gorgeous. I don't know what I'm going to knit with it yet, but I love it. And I've actually already had some people say they want to buy it, and I'm like, this one is all me. So they were like, no, really, how much do you want to sell it for? I was like, $200. And they were like, you really don't want to sell it, do you? I was like, no. Because I just put out a number that I knew nobody's going to pay. Yeah, if you want to give me $200 for it, then you can have it, but nobody's going to want to give that. So, so that was another FO. Then, I have stash enhancements. Of course I do, because I went to SSK Market, right? But the first stash enhancement that I want to show you, I'm really excited about. So on Ravelry, I'm part of a group. It's where people sell their fleeces, their sheep fleeces and alpaca fleeces and all of that. And if you have watched my podcast from the beginning, you will know that one of my goals, one of my hand spinning and knitting goals, is to process, spin, and knit a traditional Shetland shawl. Well, somebody posted that they had for sale a coated, absolutely stunning, beautiful, bright white Shetland fleece. And I'm starting to think that this might be even a lamb's fleece. Just the way, just because of how fine it is, or maybe even a yearling. There is virtually no second coat, okay? It's strong, and look at that crim. I mean, it's a stunning fleece. The staple is it started off at about 4.5 inches, but after removing the rise, it is about 4 inches now. So it had about half an inch rise. Shetlands are a primitive breed, and they have a natural break in their fiber. And so basically, when you process their fleece, after you wash it, you want to grab the uncut end, okay? And grab the cut end, okay? And pull. And what you're doing, and it's not a hard pull, you're only putting a couple pounds pressure to it. And that is scrap. So if you ever hear of somebody mentioning, my Shetland wool is all pilly and is loaded of second cuts and blah blah blah, it's because they haven't removed their rise. Because then what you are left with is a strong staple that has minimal pilling. You don't have second cuts, okay? So I'm in the process of processing this fleece, and I am just so excited about it. I cannot wait to get started on spinning this. I am going to spin it by the lock. So as I'm processing it, I am preserving the locks. And I haven't decided if I'm going to spin for a cobweb or a lace. I have not decided yet. Cobweb scares me a little bit. Also, I've heard that somebody mentioned who does do a lot of this, said that she has some issues with the cobweb, with static and strength and all of that. So I need to do a little bit of research of what was traditionally done back when these shawls were being knitted. So yeah, I am really excited about that one. I really am. It is a 2.5 pound fleece. By the end of it, it'll probably be about a 2 pound fleece, because I got to remove the rise, and obviously you have to remove the grease and all that. There's quite a bit of grease just because it is such a fine Shetland fleece. I mean, it is so soft. So soft. And trying to find a soft, strong, bright, true white fleece, Shetland fleece, without the second coat or guard hairs is so difficult. I mean, it's virtually impossible. And then the fact that this was coated So you have virtually no veggie matter. I mean, I I really lucked out on this. I really did. I'm more than thrilled. So that's the first stash enhancement. Now, on to SSK enhancements. Or first I'll do this and then I'll do SSK. I also got this Fiber Nymph Dyeworks, of course. I finally managed to get the Advanced to Go colorway. And this is on her new Traveler base, which is a sport weight. Superwash merino and nylon. Hopefully I won't have too many more interruptions. Sorry, my daughter was knocking on the door, which tells me she is up from her nap, so I gotta try to speed this up. This is on a sport base, and when I first saw this colorway, I was like, oh, I gotta have it. And I finally got it. I'm so excited. This is not going to be socks. This is going to be fingerless mitts, and I want to do long ones with it, but it's not going to be socks. I know that. I can't do socks with that. Okay, so now SSK stuff. So, sorry for the crinkling, guys. I'll try to keep it to a minimum. So when I got there, I knew that there were 2 dyers specifically that I wanted to purchase from. And I knew that, you know, I was going to hit them first and then I would explore. But I had to go to them first. And after talking to my aunt, she said I would definitely go to this one particular one before the other. And also because it was more of a direct route than the other one. But I'm happy that I did, because as soon as I went in, I went straight for where she said this one was, which was Mustache Yarns. Because when probably about 30 seconds after I got there, oh my gosh, the booth filled with people. I was like, are you kidding me? I mean, I was like up against the display of the yarn, like trying to reach, like I couldn't move. I had this much space. I mean, I had people squishing me like this and like up against the yarn and everything else, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I need, what's that colorway? Okay, and then I'm huddling my yarn right here like, okay, which one do I want? And I actually had 3, and I was like, okay, I can only get 2. Which one do I want? Which one do I put back? I have to put back one of them, but I was like, okay, I definitely want this one. And then I had 2 left, and I'm like, I don't know. And then I go up, and I was going to just hand her the yarn and be like, here, I'm definitely getting this one pick for me, because I can't choose. I'll be happy with either one. But then, sitting right there next to the register was, so there was this one. It is her Perfect Sock, which is, it's not one of her OMG. It's a Superwash Merino Nylon. And the colorway is Japanese Garden. And look at that color. Oh, I love it. It's so pretty. So I got that one. And then I also got, this is her OCD base, which means it's 2 skeins that are perfectly matching. And this is the Around the Corner colorway. So pretty. I love it. I really do. And I love her little logo. It's so cute. So pretty. Um, so yeah, I got mustache yarn. Then I went from mustache yarn straight over to this next dyer because I wanted this particular colorway. And thankfully she still had some left. Thank you. Is Jinx yarn in her Power Sock, which is Superwash BFL and nylon. And the colorway is House Cup. I wanted it so bad when I first found out about it. I was like, oh, Harry Potter, House Cup, I gotta have it. So I'm really excited about that one too. So after I got those two out of the way and taken care of, then I went ahead and went exploring. Because like I said, those two were, I had to get those, and then, okay, I'll go look at others. And then, oh my gosh, there was so much pretty yarn, and it was so hard to decide. I was like, I want it all, but I can't have it all. But then I went into the Miss Babs booth. Always a dangerous decision. And I got 2 skeins of her Hot Shot base, which is 3-ply fingering, sock yarn, superwash merino, and nylon base. But these are not going to be socks. These are going to be knitted together in some kind of shawl. I still have to decide. I have to go hunting on Ravelry. But this one is Baird's Whale colorway. It's a really pretty bluish gray. And then this one is Zombie Prom, which has some of that bluish gray, but also has purples and greens and browns. Gorgeous. And I thought these two together will be stunning. So hopefully I can figure out what that needs to be. But they will be knitted together in some kind of striped shawl or something. And preferably I like to have something that I can easily modify to try to use as much of this as possible. So there's that one. Then, as I'm leaving, I say goodbye to the Knit Girls, and they have some fiber on the table, and I'm like, oh, that's really pretty. And they're like, those are extras, they're for sale if you want some. I was like, really? So, sorry, gotta readjust. It was Hello Yarn fiber. It was their summer SSK fiber that when people attend, they can either choose yarn or fiber, and this was the fiber that they got if they chose fiber. The colorway is pigment. It's on Falkland wool. It's really pretty orange, yellows, and purples of different shades, and I'm kind of anxious to get started on this. My first experience with Falkland was not so great, but I'm going to give that another try after getting some tips from Laura on how to spin it and everything. So I'm anxious to get started on that and see how it turns out and see if I like Falkland or not. So that is all of my stash enhancements. I do have some shop news, so if you're interested in that, hang around. If not, I will see you again on my next episode. So happy knitting and spinning. Guys, so this is going to be the shop news update portion of the podcast. This is going to be a very short update because what I'm planning on doing is when I have a shop update where the yarn is available, is going to be going up and everything, I'm going to do a completely separate episode. It's going to be a mini episode, and basically I'm just going to sit there and show what will be available in my next shop update. But I did want to get this out to you. I am going to be having my first shop update. It's going to be Friday, August 21st, so that's this Friday, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's on my time zone. And I'll have a link of where the update will be. It will be on my website. I'm going to have some beautiful colorways. And I'm going to have fiber as well. That will be more geared towards art spinners. Just because of the type of prep that was involved in it. It really is geared for art spinners. And also I'm going to have several one-of-a-kind colorways. They were test colorways, and although there'll be colorways in the future, there's still tweaks that I will be doing to my official colorways. So there will be some one-of-a-kind skeins as well that you will never be able to get again. And those one-of-a-kinds will be discounted because they are one-of-a-kinds. I'm not going to charge full price for them. So keep an eye out. It will be coming probably around Wednesday, the shop update. And it'll be, like I said, like 5-minute little mini episode of what is going to be put up in the shop. So I hope you all enjoy my yarn. Bye, guys.